Maxon just made their motion graphics and compositing app free for all studios, all of them, and it's a plugin buffet. It's Motion Mondays. Before we get into the news, I do want to take a moment. The motion design community lost someone really important. Danny Yount passed away on April 30th. He was the title designer. He worked at Digital Kitchen, then at Prologue with Kyle Cooper. He was self-taught, learned everything the hard way. And in his words, getting into main title design was like gravity. He designed the Emmy Award-winning title sequence for 6 Feet Under, which is still, I think, one of the best title sequences ever made. He did the Saul Bass-inspired Kiss Kiss Bang Bang titles, the Rock and Rolla titles for Guy Ritchie, and the original Iron Man main title sequence. Those glowing schematics, the wireframes assembling on the screen, that's Danny Yount. That visual language went on to define an entire era of tech UI motion design, and all of us have been riffing on it for 15 to 20 years without always knowing where it came from. A lot of industry heavyweights have been writing about his influence this week. And although I never got to meet Danny, everyone I know who did said that he was incredibly kind and humble, which is remarkable because by any measure, he was a titan of this industry. There are very few designers with the name recognition of a Danny Yount, and his work will be influencing people who don't even know his name yet. His visual language is in our DNA now. UI screens in movies and games and ads. You can draw a straight line from his work to 100 things you've seen this week. So our condolences to Danny's family and friends. We lost a legend. May Danny's memory be a blessing. 3 weeks ago, Maxon made Autograph free for individual users, and last week they went further, and I want to make sure the magnitude of this lands. Autograph is now free for teams for all use cases, including commercial work. Maxon just handed studios a full motion graphics and compositing app for $0. Quick recap, if you missed it, Autograph is Maxon's answer to After Effects. It's GPU accelerated with node-based compositing, handles 2D and 3D in the same app, and supports USD, ACES, and OpenEXR, revision effects, Boris effects, digital anarchy, the universe plugins, and a growing list of Red Giant tools like Magic Bullet, Looks, and Starglow all integrate directly. This is a real production app. So why is Maxon doing this? My theory is it's the same playbook as Canva with Affinity and Cavalry. Free tools as lead magnets that pull you into the ecosystem. They make it frictionless to start. And when you need something beyond the free tier, you graduate to the paid stuff. Cinema 4D, ZBrush, Red Giant. Give something away valuable now and then collect the relationship later. I think we're seeing a trend here. Full professional creative pipelines going free. Blender, Cavalry, Affinity, Autograph, DaVinci Resolve. And when the tools are free, clients aren't paying for your software costs anymore. They're paying for taste, speed, and experience. So those things matter more. If Maxon is going head-to-head with Adobe on After Effects, software is only part of the fight. They also have to compete on training, community, and the ecosystem. They have to make a compelling case to studios that have built entire pipelines around Adobe, and that's not a software argument. That's a cultural argument. That moat takes years to cross. But free for commercial use with no limits, that's a powerful move, and we will keep watching. Quick School Motion news update. All Access just hit 4,300 students. 2 new courses recently dropped, Cavalry Kickstart and C4D Insider, and the jobs board has 360 positions posted since January. And if you haven't looked at it recently, you should. The Oddly Satisfying Render Challenge is still running. Submissions close May 25th, winners announced June 8th. We partnered with Maxon and the Corridor crew. You need Cinema 4D and Redshift. Your piece needs to be 15 to 20 seconds, and it needs to be the kind of thing that makes someone stop scrolling. First prize is a Dell Pro Max 18 laptop plus a year of Maxon One and All Access. Second and third place get subscriptions too. All the details are at oddlysatisfyingchallenge.com. We also dropped the Motion Design Hiring Guide last week. We analyzed over 13,000 job listings, pulled salary ranges, in-demand skills, how to structure teams, and discussed how to think about promoting artists. One thing that stood out in the data is there's a measurable pay premium for artists who are comfortable with AI tools. I know that's still a charged topic for a lot of people, but I have yet to meet a single studio in 2026 that is not using AI in some form. They may not be broadcasting it, and if you want to know why, just look at our YouTube comments. But it's happening. We're working on AI training for motion designers as we speak. More on that soon. The hiring guide is free. The link is in the description. All Access members, RSVP for our community workshop this Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Jake Bartlett, the one and only, is showing how he uses Claude Code to build tools like Railcut, a Premiere-style timeline inside After Effects with zero software development background. If you are curious about All Access, you can find all the details on our site. If you've been on the fence about trying the Rive AI Agent, the fence just got a lot lower. Rive opened up the agent to all users this week, including the free plan. Quick clarification though, free plan users get a capacity that recharges hourly. The Cadet plan at $9 a month gets you more access plus the ability to export and ship Rive files. On the Voyager plan at $20 a month, you get recurring credits and you can top up your AI credits by paying a little bit more. They also added an Ask mode for quick questions that uses fewer credits than the full agent calls, a direct response to user feedback that the agent was eating through credits too fast, which is smart. The more interesting angle is where Rive is actually heading. They're building support for external API keys like Claude, OpenAI, your own custom pipelines. The implication is that your own AI setup could eventually drive Rive scenes directly. That's a very different category of tool. If you've been curious about Rive scripting but haven't had agent access, the free plan is a good place to start. After Effects has had the same broken gradient ramp for at least 2 decades. Mikey Borup, who has been apparently spending his time raising chickens and vibe coding, just fixed it. The problem, AE's native ramp blends colors through an RGB color space, which means saturated colors die to muddy gray in the middle. It's one of those things you just kind of learn to live with. Mikey's quote from the demo is, "This isn't a color transition, this is 2 colors taking turns dying." Accurate. Better ramp blends in a perceptual color space instead, so there's no mud, no gray. It also adds controls that maybe should have always been there. Blend curve, bias, scatter to kill banding in compressed exports, radial highlight controls, per end opacity, and it's GPU accelerated and currently just $8. Here's what really excites me about this story though. Mikey is not a typical software developer. He vibe coded and shipped a production quality After Effects plugin. The reason we haven't had more niche AE tools isn't that no one thought of them, it's that building them was too expensive unless you already had an audience to sell to. That equation is changing. If you can describe the problem, you can probably build the solution yourself now. The cost is basically a Claude subscription. School of Motion is building some free tools of our own more soon, and Jake Bartlett is showing All Access members how he does this live on Thursday. Figma has been slowly creeping towards Illustrator territory for a while now, and this week's Figma Draw updates make that direction pretty hard to ignore. They added gradient brushes, eyedropper sampling for strokes, and independent X and Y noise and texture controls. That's Procreate level behavior inside Figma. They also added a text on a path tool finally, plus independent text and vector layers. And auto layout is now accessible directly from Draw mode without having to switch to design mode. Figma already owns UI and UX design, and these updates are a clear push towards illustration and motion concept work. So at what point does a solo designer stop using Illustrator? Well, not yet. Figma is probably still missing 70% of Illustrator's feature set, but the direction is obvious. Our Figma for Motion Designers course is currently in production for what it's worth. Destruction in Blender has always been technically possible and practically painful. You could do it, but art directing it is a whole other thing. Lazy Cracker, this is a joke I really want to make, but I won't, is a plugin that makes it actually usable. It has 2 cracking modes, draw-based for hero shots where you need precise crack placement, and procedural for quick background debris and VFX passes. Beyond breaking things, it helps you turn fractured geometry into proper rigid body simulations with controls for mass, friction, caches, and freezing good frames. Interior face controls let you assign different materials to broken edges, which is what separates convincing destruction from destruction that just looks like a model fell apart. It also comes with 30+ debris chunks and textures included. It's currently 25% off, so under $7. Blender users are really spoiled for plugins. Here's some insanely good work we saw last week. First up, the FITSE Toronto 2026 opening titles from Escafandra Studio. I am a sucker for texture, halftone patterns, and hand-drawn animation, and this has all 3. Some of it's probably shape layers, some of it is clearly frame by frame. Saul Bass echoes throughout the whole thing. It really stands out against a lot of today's hyper-polished work, and that's a real commitment to pull off, so very killer stuff. Next up, Journey Through the Forest of Eels from Flow in the UK. It won a bunch of awards and you'll see why immediately. Bold compositions, every frame is something you'd hang on your wall. There's also a comprehensive making of that shows how they combined hand-drawn animation, stylized 3D, and character work. Definitely watch it more than once. And finally, our friends at Black Math in Boston were featured by Comfy UI. Now, I respect these guys for being one of the first studios to actually show how they're using AI. Co-founder Jeremy Solomon talks about using it to scale the creative without replacing the artist. Artists draw the concepts. AI just helps iterate on the art direction and handles the brutal compositing work like tracking photorealistic vines onto real footage. The artist's voice comes first, AI handles the parts that used to just take too long. That framing makes a lot of sense to me, and the video is super cool. Pixel Lab dropped a Gaussian Splat cloud pack this week, and it's a good excuse to talk about why splats are worth paying attention to. It's 25 production-ready cloud assets that render in near real time. A few years ago, this meant VDB packs with real render costs. Splats drop in for almost nothing, which for broadcast and social spots on a tight schedule matters. The interesting shift is Gaussian Splats started as photogrammetry tech for reconstructing real-world scenes. Now they're being authored as designed assets. Splats won't replace VDBs when you need precise volumetric control, but for fast, realistic skies, they're hard to beat. Link in the description. LFO Design dropped a free toolkit for Cinema 4D and Redshift 2026 this week, and if you use C4D for look dev, pay attention. It's a library of Redshift node assets built to make procedural masking easier to do. You can create maps for ambient occlusion, curvature, normal, slope, and Fresnel, all designed to work together as reusable building blocks. This lets you drive material blends so dust sits on top faces, dirt collects in crevices, and edges look worn. And you control it with curves and sliders instead of painted textures. The curvature tool is the standout with integrated breakup noise, radius controls, and global scale. It unlocks the edges detail that makes renders look expensive. You can download it at name your own price, but maybe buy LFO Design a coffee at minimum. You know, one of those fancy ones. The link is in the description. aescripts and AE Plugins Summer of Sales kicks off this week. 25% off participating authors' entire catalogs, 1 week per month, May through August. Here's a few picks for week 1. Newton, the 2D physics simulator for After Effects, and one of the pricier plugins in the catalog, so this is a good time to grab it. Draw lets you draw vector brushes in After Effects that automatically convert to shape layers. FoldSpace handles GPU-accelerated 3D curved surfaces, super cool. And AE GPT puts an AI assistant inside After Effects that can run commands, apply expressions, and basically do anything a script can do on request. Bookmark aescripts.com. 1 week per month through August, you can save some money. This week's School Motion Student Spotlight is shining on Emilio Fumero from Dallas, Texas. You know, the less cool city next to Fort Worth.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Emilio is a 3D experiential designer at Moax Visual. His Instagram has some incredible 3D printed planters with a great sense of volume and some killer sculpting. He worked through Cinema 4D Basecamp and did this incredible modeling job for the Super Modeling Challenge. The arcade cabinet with boots, hat, and lasso is unmistakably Texan. Yeehaw, Emilio. Emilio said, in just 6 weeks, I went from flat still renders to rich, high quality, impactful animations. I've integrated all of this into my job, and that is the outcome we are after right there. So cannot wait to see the show reel Emilio. Freelancers, this one is for you. Our friends at Motion Hatch are running a 30-day client outreach challenge starting this Wednesday, May 13th. You'll get daily tasks, about 30 minutes each day, to build a complete client acquisition pipeline. You'll have dream clients in your CRM, that's Customer Relationship Manager, a monthly outreach rhythm, and a follow-up process. It's not really a course, it's a system that you build while you're in the challenge. Haley at Motion Hatch is one of the best at teaching the business side of freelancing, and over 100 motion designers have gone through this. The feast and famine cycle is real, and a system is how you fix it, so the link is in the description. And finally, a couple of things from the frame rate world. Motion designer Florian Tamer built a screensaver that pulls frame rate videos and plays them while your screen is idle. Grab a spare monitor, hit full screen, and filter by content type. This is the kind of thing you can build when a platform supports developers and creatives from day one, which frame rate does. Vimeo increasingly does not. Also, Wine After Coffee is back. If you remember their curated Vimeo channel from the early 2010s, you know what this means. A curated playlist of the best work, handpicked by some incredible artists from our industry. They just launched a channel on frame rate, and though there are only 4 videos picked out as of this recording, I have a feeling this becomes a go-to pretty fast. So go subscribe to their channel. And that's Motion Mondays. Enter the Oddly Satisfying Render Challenge. May 25th is the deadline. Win prizes from Dell, Maxon, and School of Motion. And all the details are at oddlysatisfyingchallenge.com. Download the free motion design hiring guide at the link in the description. And all access members, Jake Bartlett is live this Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern, showing how he vibe coded a custom After Effects tool with zero development background. Don't miss that one. Have an amazing week. I'll see you next Monday.